So, hello there everyone and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it is time for me to finish off an experiment I did last week. I didn't realise people would want me to carry on going, but we made every single player on FIFA 19 career mode 1 overall. Every single player on the entire game is just as horrendous as each other, and we simulated 7 seasons into the future. Today we're going to be completing the other 8 seasons, getting to the end of a career mode save and seeing what on earth will happen. Going to do a couple of different things this time. I'll be showing you more of the international tournaments, but I'll also be showing you the players of the year as well, because obviously it's completely random. So the Ballon d'Or, for example, isn't just going to go to Messi or Ronaldo, I would imagine. There's a player from Port Vale in the Premier League Player of the Month, and I feel like that's all you need to know from the situation. So for example, down in the Championship, we've got the likes of West Ham, Chelsea, Manchester United, Newcastle, Leicester. In League One, we've got some other Premier League teams as well, like Huddersfield, Wolves, Sunderland are down here as well. So without any real further ado, we're just gonna carry on, I guess, and we'll jump into what is Season 8. Worth noting that in all of these seasons, there's still been not a single transfer. Not a single transfer has happened. Here we are, boys. The Player of the Year has been announced. It's Getafe's Albilla Zabala. Who is that? He's not even a real player. Fair play to the geezer. Getafe are actually winning La Liga, so that makes sense. Gone are the days of Messi, Ronaldo, Neymar, Mbappe. It's some random Getafe regen now. Season 8 is done and Nottingham Forest have returned to the promised land. They've won the league with only one loss, to be fair to them. West Brom in second, Port Vale in third, and then Norwich fourth. Carlisle and Crewe also in the league. For the first time in this 15-season experiment, we've been relegated, so we're going to be in the Championship now. The FA Cup was won by Fleetwood Town on penalties, and the Carabao Cup was won by Premier League winners Nottingham Forest over Macclesfield in the final. The Champions League and Europa League are still broken, boys. Poland have won the World Cup. Can we stop with this? I'm fed up of the Polish team doing, all of these Polish teams even, doing well. First it was Wisla Plock, now it's Poland. Ecuador were in the final. I've had enough. How is the news section predicting the league? Everybody's the same. Alright, sick one, solid double relegation, brilliant stuff, boys. The league this year has been won by Sheffield Wednesday. It doesn't ever get any less ridiculous, does it? Carlisle United second, Portsmouth third, and Nottingham Forest in fourth. West Brom in fifth, Crystal Palace sixth, then Port Vale, Rochdale, Crewe Alexandra and Stoke. The notable usual big names, Arsenal and Spurs 12th and 14th. Manchester City just about survive, whilst Bournemouth, Cardiff and Derby go down. The Championship was won by Yeovil Town. They're promoted along with West Ham, Rotherham, Millwall, Oxford and Watford will fight it out in the playoffs, just above Bristol Rovers, who have done well to get up that high. Chelsea down in 19th, whilst ourselves and Everton go down with Fulham. FA Cup was won by Port Vale. Carabao Cup was also won by Port Vale. Meanwhile, League One saw Walsall and QPR getting promoted. We've got Manchester United relegated to League 2. I thought it couldn't get any worse. They always get relegated, but now they're in League 2. This just takes the biscuit. The top 4 of the Premier League, I've never seen the likes, to be honest with you. Port Vale won it from Nottingham Forest, Yeovil Town and Oxford United. You go figure. Europa League spots taken up by Spurs, Sheffield Wednesday and Stoke. We've got Rochdale and Accrington in the top 10. Carlisle and Crewe getting amongst it. Man City don't survive this time. They've gone down now. The Championship sees Hull City and Walsall going up. Southend, Newcastle, Burnley and Villa in the playoffs. We scroll down. Chelsea just survived. Southampton, Cardiff and Bournemouth all go down, and they're all Premier League teams at the start of the game. League One saw promotion for Shrewsbury. Plymouth Argyle were up in the Premier League a few seasons back. They've been re-promoted to the Championship. We are in free fall. I don't know what's going on with ourselves, Everton and Fulham, but we've gone down again. So we now are in League 2, but Doncaster, Bristol City and Charlton won't be. They have been promoted. We go further and further down, and I'm not seeing Man U yet. That's because they finished 22nd. Also in the other competitions, Shrewsbury won the FA Cup and Nottingham Forest won the Carabao Cup. Players that will boss the midfield in 2028. They're all from Port Vale. Every single midfielder that's gonna be good this year in the whole world plays for Port Vale. Are you mental, mate? Also, I actually don't know what's going on in Poland, but they've slapped Slovenia 6-1 in the final. Alright, good. Merseyside's been officially shafted. I think this is season 11. Don't quote me on it, but Hull City have won the league. I know several Hull fans, they'll be absolutely delighted with the news. Port Vale, with their midfielder superstars, were only able to come second out of Walsall and Crewe Alexandra. West Ham, Yeovil and Accrington. I think Spurs have finished 8th for about the last 10 seasons now. Crystal Palace there along with Arsenal. West Brom, Portsmouth. Forest have almost been relegated. They won the league last, like, 2 years ago. The championship was won by Plymouth Argyle. Back-to-back promotions after back-to-back relegations 5 years ago. Norwich also promoted. Blackburn, Villa, QPR and Swansea in the playoffs. Newcastle and Chelsea mid-table. Same for Watford. Leicester just about survive while City are relegated to League One. Down in League One, Barnsley and Oldham promoted. Barnsley, Oldham and Mansfield all scoring 100 goals across the season. We saw the bottom of League Two, but here's the top. Cheltenham Town, Forest Green and Wycombe Wanderers promoted. There's the playoffs. Wimbledon managing to get into the playoffs after being relegated last season. FA Cup was won by Southend, 5-1 victory over QPR. Carabao Cup was won by Ipswich Town. And over in some of the other leagues, finally, Paris Saint-Germain aren't winning the league anymore. Clermont Foot actually come out on top in France and Marseille and Bordeaux. Paris Saint-Germain actually finished way down in 17th, just below Lille. In Ligue 2, we see Lyon, we see OGC Nice, we see Toulouse all down here. AS Monaco actually finished the worst of the French teams in the entire game. Your Bundesliga was won by Borussia Mönchengladbach with Fortuna Köln and Sportfreunde Lotte in 2nd and 3rd. Bayern there down in 9th. We've got Dresden just above Leverkusen. Dortmund and Hamburg go down. Serie A was won by Perugia. They come out on top out of Parma, Brescia and Torino. Inter down in 9th. AC Milan down in 12th. And Juve are relegated bottom. Meanwhile, over in Spain, Getafe win again. They've won it for the last 6 seasons now, ahead of Huesca. FC Barcelona all the way down in P14. Bilbao relegated, but Real Madrid aren't even in the top flight. Season 12 now, and we've had probably our 12th different winner of the Premier League. Stoke City, 2 points clear of West Ham, then Burnley and Crewe Alexandra. Port Vale, though, down in 17th with their incredible midfield. Spurs, Villa, and Arsenal relegated. I think we're starting to run out of Premier League teams at all. Championship was won by Leicester. They're re-promoted. Rotherham United go up with them. Watford there in 19th. Chelsea as well relegated now down to League One. Yet more Premier League sides down in the 3rd tier. We've got Southampton and Manchester City in the playoffs. Huddersfield there in 8th. Cardiff, Bournemouth as well down here. And then in our league, we didn't finish bottom for one. Ligue 1 was won by Lille this time out of Sochaux and Metz, looking for the big teams in France, or the bigger teams traditionally. Lyon relegated back down to Ligue 2. Paris Saint-Germain finished 17th again. The Bundesliga's been won by FC Nürnberg on goal difference out of Köln. Frankfurt, Gladbach, Dusseldorf and Sportfreunde Lotte are just behind them. Bundesliga 2 sees Hoffenheim and Bochum going up. Dortmund have to settle for 4th. Leipzig down in the mid-table along with Schalke and Hamburg. And then the 3rd Liga sees Augsburg and FSV Mainz as well down here. Serie A was won by Internazionale, Genoa, Chievo Verona and Cittadella behind them. And Serie B sees Fiorentina go back up with Spal. Roma down here in 6th as well, and Juventus down in 11th. Meanwhile, over in Spain, Getafe win it again, 105 points. Barcelona still up there in 2nd. Meanwhile, in the 2nd tier, Real Sociedad, Sevilla, Malaga, Real Madrid and Bilbao all down here. Atletico Madrid 2. Yet another different winner of the Premier League. West Brom this time ahead of Rochdale and Barnsley. Stoke City, the reigning champions in 4th. Port Vale, Burnley, Hull and all the way down towards the bottom, Spurs, Oxford and Arsenal relegated. So the championship sees Peterborough and Leeds getting promoted. Oldham, Watford, Blackpool and Wigan in the playoffs. We scroll further down, you can see Newcastle there in 18th. Crystal Palace relegated down to League 1. In League 1, we've got Doncaster, Mansfield getting promoted. Cheltenham, Scunthorpe, Southampton and Chelsea in the playoffs. And then in League 2, Luton, Crawley and finally Wolves re-promoted out of League 2 again. United there in 9th, and as expected, the likes of Everton, Fulham and ourselves, Liverpool, down towards the bottom. Meanwhile, in Europe, OGC Nice won League 1. We've got down towards the bottom, Marseille, Paris Saint-Germain finishing 17th again. That's like 4 seasons in a row now. The Bundesliga was won by Bayer Leverkusen as Sandhausen, then Gladbach and Aalen. Bayern Munich were down in 13th, whilst Werder Bremen were relegated along with Dresden. Bundesliga 2 was won by Leipzig. Serie A was won by Padova Cordova ahead of Cagliari, Milan and Inter. And finally again in Spain, it seems to have pretty much settled down over there. Getafe win again from Barcelona again. The penultimate season now, and Norwich City have won the league with 65 points. Yes, you heard that correctly. A team has just won the Premier League with 65 points. That would usually be enough for you to finish maybe 7th in the league. Didn't Spurs get relegated last year? In fact, didn't Arsenal get relegated? Wait, what? How are Arsenal and Spurs still in the league? They just got relegated. Why did they not get relegated? I am so baffled. At this point, realistically, we've just broken the game. In League One, Bradford and Crawley are promoted. Chelsea in the playoffs there, just had a Palace, Cardiff and Sunderland. Ipswich in there, Wolves mid-table. And in League Two, we finally didn't finish bottom. We were 9th in the league, but it was Bristol City, Colchester and Bolton promoted. Your Carabao Cup was won by Crawley Town, and the FA Cup in its penultimate season was won by Cheltenham Town. Bundesliga was won by Sportfreunde Lotte. I think they start in the 3rd tier, so that's incredible for them. Nuremberg, then Hanover and Karlsruhe. Serie A was won by Brescia this year. This has been one of the most random leagues of all of them, but Milan and Inter stay pretty constant in the top 5 usually. Meanwhile, Juventus seem a pretty staple Calcio B side now, along with AS Roma, both them down in the 2nd tier. We haven't kept up with the Dutch league much, but that is all change as well. Fortuna Sittard won the Eredivisie ahead of FC Emmen, and La Liga, would you believe it, was won by Getafe, and 2nd place were Barcelona. For anyone wondering on the European Championships, or the Euros for that matter, Russia won the final. They beat Finland. So finally, the reign of Poland is over. Player of the year for the final season was this man. This man won the Ballon d'Or. I don't know who it is. It's another Getafe Donny again. I don't know why. He's still won overall. Here we are though in the Premier League for the final time, and for I think the first time we've got a team that's won the league already win it again. Stoke City on 67 points again. Peterborough and Oldham round out a top 6. Once again Arsenal somehow survived despite, I'm pretty sure, the fact they were relegated, but they were 17th. Forest, Portsmouth and Norwich go down. In the Championship, Blackpool are top at a Bradford, Wigan, Watford, Southampton and Doncaster, the likes of Plymouth Argyle. Crawley Town have also featured a lot in these experiments. Accrington Stanley there in 13th, just ahead of Spurs, who are actually in the Championship for this season. Shrewsbury, who've won plenty of cups in this experiment, are relegated down to League One. In League One, Wolves are promoted, starting a bit of a resurgence. A bit too late though, really, but they are at least back into the 2nd tier of English football. Only 1 defeat for them in the season. Crystal Palace and Chelsea there out of the Premier League sides, or the Premier League originals there in 7th and 8th. Bournemouth and Cardiff down there too. We've got Ipswich around the gaff. And in League 2, once again, a relatively successful season for us compared to the usual, but Tranmere Rovers, Northampton and Newport are promoted. Liverpool there in 8th, Manchester United there in 10th, Everton 17th, along with Fulham and City in the mid-table. It would have been Reading and Brighton relegated on goal difference in real life. Again, looking at the cups, Yeovil Town won the FA Cup over Peterborough, and the Carabao Cup was won by Blackpool on penalties. Now though to Europe for the final time in this experiment, and you can see Marseille won the lead over Guingamp. Paris Saint-Germain finished 17th. I don't really know what's going on there, to be honest. Ligue 2 sees Valenciennes come out on top at a Sochaux, and then Lyon, AS Monaco still down there in that 2nd tier. They're not really escaped, to be honest. The Bundesliga was won by Unterhaching. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Only on 59 points though, and then Fortuna Köln. So Bayern relegated automatically along with Meppen. Bundesliga 2 was won by Würzburg. They're promoted along with Augsburg. We've got Hertha Berlin, St. Pauli, Werder Bremen, Dortmund and Schalke again all in this division. And in the 3rd tier once more, Stuttgart and Ingolstadt are promoted, and down as we go further on, Wolfsburg have done appallingly in this experiment. Serie A was won by Hellas Verona. Again, AC Milan doing pretty well. This time Inter a lot lower, seemingly. Fiorentina, they're down in 8th as well. They've been traditionally doing well in this experiment. And in Serie B, it was Udinese promoted along with Napoli, and Juventus actually finishing respectably in 3rd, but still not obviously in the top tier of Italian football. Roma there in 8th too. The Eredivisie was won by AZ Alkmaar in the final season, ahead of Willem II, Excelsior and Heracles Almelo. Portuguese league we haven't really checked on too much, but Vitória Guimarães won the league. The usual big boys, Porto and Sporting in 7th and 8th, with Benfica in 13th. The Scottish Premier League was topped by Edinburgh clubs, Hibernian on top, then Hearts in 2nd. And finally, if we check out Spain, it's no real surprise that Getafe win the league, this time by a whopping, 35 points over Barcelona and Albacete. Villarreal there in 6th, Real Madrid re-promoted up into La Liga. They finished in 11th. Deportivo there in 13th. Sociedad and Sevilla down towards the bottom with Betis and Celta Vigo. And the second tier is where you'll find the likes of Atletico Madrid. Once again, they've been down here for this whole video, I think, but Granada and Huesca get promoted. Athletic Bilbao in 9th, Atletico Madrid down in 13th, and the likes of Valencia and Malia also underachieving. But that is going to round up part 2 of this mammoth experiment. All 15 seasons have been done, and now you guys know what will happen if every player is 1 rated in FIFA 19 career mode. If you enjoyed that video, slap a like on it and subscribe. If you are new to the channel, it's the big red button under the video and it massively helps me out. And if there's any experiments you want me to do with the cheat engine or otherwise, drop them down in the comments section below. You can also follow me on social media these days too, my Twitter and Insta at @theofficialfng, and links are down below. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.